Ladies and gentlemen, you are watching another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans 1977. It's Friday, and you know what that means. It's time for another SmackDown Event Center Wrestling Report. And now, here is the man that will bring you the Wrestling Report, the host of Eric Lima Shenanigans 1977, Eric M. Lima. Thank you very much, Mr. Announcer, sir. Well, hello there, everyone. Welcome to yet another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977, episode number 1,900. That's right, we're at 1,900 episodes. I want to thank everybody for their support. And this channel has been growing miles and leaps and bounds ever since I've opened it back 2 years ago. And I got a great feeling that this new setting does help a lot. So I want to thank everybody for tuning in for another episode, folks. And today is the first day of winter, and as evidenced outside, we have a little bit of snow, but most of it's on grass surfaces and car tops, basically. And I didn't have to worry about a dang thing today. My only concern is about this morning driving to work. Because it's still dark out in the morning, even like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning or something like that. Because that's one time I got up 5 o'clock in the morning just to get going, just to figure. You can't tell if the roads are good or it's still snowing, but not like snowing hard, like no big flakes or anything like that. Just flurries. It's just a flurry of snow. I've got some news in the WWE, breaking news, that last night's NXT Level Up episode will be the final one because it's going to be canceled afterwards. I think with Raw being on Netflix, kind of would put an effect on a lot of things. I don't know if they're making the extension to NXT to 3 hours. If that's the case, if they're thinking of doing that, I think that could give young NXT stars some opportunities. So for this coming episode of NXT coming up on the Christmas Eve episode, I'll be doing the final level up for from last night, the 20th of December. So it'll be the final NXT level up, because I think with Raw moving to Netflix, I think that kind of affected a lot of it's going to be affecting SmackDown, because the first SmackDown of the new year will extend to 3 hours. So I don't know if they're going to do that same courtesy for NXT. We'll find out as we go along here. So here we go. The Rogue Bloodline, as I like to call them, because they don't go by the book of being a Samoan bloodline, naming that will be Solo Sikoa, Mr. Tama Tonga, sounds like Beavis every time, and Mr. I Love You Solo. That's what I'm talking about. Jacob Fatu, the Samoan werewolf, and then Solo Sikoa basically addresses Roman Reigns about his challenge for a tribal combat, and he accepted the challenge. So January 6th, the Raw on Netflix, it will be Tribal Combat, Roman Reigns with Solo Sikoa. Drew McIntyre, of all people, interrupts the Rogue Bloodline, addresses Sikoa. He says, after you get done dealing with Roman, you and I got to finish our thing. And then Drew McIntyre, and then Solo Sikoa goes, okay, we'll do that. But then, as Drew McIntyre is about to back out of the ring, Jimmy Uso jumps McIntyre despite the fact he was on crutches, and starts attacking McIntyre. McIntyre retreats, and Jey Uso couldn't run after him because he still got his hurt toe. Jimmy Uso was not in a very good mood. So LA Knight, Apollo Crews, and Andrade were brawling with the Rogue Bloodline as they had their 6-man tag team matchup, and the Bloodline did pick up the victory because of the Rogue Bloodline, because of the fact that Shinsuke Nakamura got involved and attacked LA Knight during the match with the Kinshasa. And then Byron Saxton interviews the Motor City Machine Guns, and Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin, rightfully so, very upset about how things went down a couple of weeks ago. And they said, and Alex Shelley said, well, I am going to do this on my own, if you don't mind, Chris Sabin. But I think him and Chris Sabin kind of knew that DIY probably wouldn't do things on their own. So, and then Kevin Owens addresses his actions against Cody Rhodes. He says everyone else's fault, not his, basically. Yeah. Whatever, Kevin. Whatever, Kevin Owens. KO. So DIY responds to what Alex Shelley had to say, and they said, well, I'll do that. Johnny Gargano says, you stay back here. Okay, I will. It's like, that's not gonna happen. He ain't staying back there. Anyways, they had the Grayson Waller effect along with Austin Theory, and the guest was Braun Strowman, and Braun Strowman came out dressed as Santa. Which he would make a great heck of a great Santa. It's like Santa Claus and Paul Bunyan's DNA got mixed up, and you got Braun Strowman, and Braun Strowman is throwing toys at kids, not toys, but T-shirts to kids, and say, hey, you have this, and being this great Santa Claus that he is, and then Grayson Waller starts running his mouth, of course, and he goes, hey, you have me out here, ask me some interesting questions, or I was like, don't take them off, Grayson. Don't take them off. And then Carmelo Hayes interrupts Strowman and said, hey, I want to challenge you. So Strowman goes, you know how I feel? You know how I'm going to feel about it? And he starts grabbing the palm trees from the set and starts chucking them at Hayes. And then they had their one-on-one matchup. And Carmelo Hayes seemed to play it smart. I have to admit, and he, this is in Lowell, Massachusetts, and he got a victory in his home state over Braun Strowman by countout. Braun Strowman obviously not pleased and starts chasing Carmelo Hayes throughout the arena. And Tiffany Stratton was about to talk to Nia Jax and Candice LeRae. Says, hey, why don't you stay back here? I think Candice LeRae is trying to drive a wedge between Nia Jax and Tiffany Stratton. And I get a hunch that Tiffany Stratton may end up cashing in on Nia Jax, and I think that will turn Tiffany Stratton totally babyface. If that's the case, oh boy, look out. And sorry, Michael Bombardier, but I like Tiffany Stratton, but I'm not I just like her, not like her. And like I said, she's not one of my favorites, So, but I do respect her, her ability to, her move in the ring and all that, and she got to learn some more wrestling skills from her boyfriend Ludwig Kaiser. I think, he's well skilled in that department. We'll see what happens. Meanwhile, Braun continues to chase Hayes in the back, and he runs into Legado del Fantasma, and he says, and he asks them, hey, where's Carmelo Hayes? And Santos Escobar goes, I'm no snitch, and then Angel, afraid of getting beat up, he says he went that way. He went that way. Fine, he went that way. And I think he's trying to do, and then Braun Strowman keeps running, and then Pretty Deadly goes, what about the play? I don't care about your stupid play. I want Carmelo Hayes. Boys, when Strowman's angry, back it up. You don't want to get near Strowman. But then Carmelo Hayes attacks him from behind with a steel chair, but he gets up. I'm like, oh boy, you just ticked him off now. You better run. You better hide in Fenway Park or something, man. So Alex Shelley went one-on-one against Johnny Gargano, and Ciampa got involved, obviously, and Chris Sabin knew that was going to happen. That DIY, they knew that DIY wasn't going to play fair. Chris Sabin came out, tells Ciampa to back off, but Gargano took advantage of the situation, distracting Alex Shelley, and ended up winning the match and holding on to the tights against Alex Shelley. And I'll tell you one thing, this feud between Morrissey and Machine Guns and DIY is far from over. And then Byron Saxton interviews Bianca Belair, and Naomi as they were still trying to find out who attacked Jade, and then Bianca Belair was going to hand 1.5 of the tag team titles. Naomi said, not until I earn it. And they had the main event. Bianca Belair and Naomi. And Nia Jax and Candice LeRae. Tiffany Stratton came down with a match with her Money in the Bank briefcase. And then Nia Jax saying, hey, give me the briefcase. I'm going to use it. And she goes and the referee caught them. But that distracted Candice LeRae. And Naomi picked up the victory to have her and Bianca Belair retain the titles. And then when Bianca Belair handed the belt, Naomi says thank you. So, and that is it. That's all the time we have on this episode. 1,900. Really, let's say again, very excited about 1,900 episodes. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Next episode, I want to talk about AEW Rampage, but also I want to give you the results from Ring of Honor Final Battle. All right, and that's what I want to do to kill some time, fill up some time, and all that. So, thank you for tuning in, and until next episode comes rolling around, Mr. Announcer, take us home. That is all for today's episode. This is your announcer speaking for Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. A Big Beefy E, doing for Bob Saget Productions, and in association with a Raven Bofa Telepictures and Distribution. Thank you for watching today's episode. Tune in next time for another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. Goodbye for now.